Well, here we are back at the old geezer standby. I just want to apologize to all of my stepchildren that I did not know what the hell I was doing trying to raise you people. Because I understand from what I hear, you're doing okay. What the hell did I do right? I tried to do everything wrong. I thought I'd solved all those problems. I tried to let you live in the real world. Try to let you do everything that you thought you could do. Some of you could do it. Some of you just couldn't do it, and I didn't have the guts to tell you, I don't think you're going to do too well. Now, on the other hand, over here, we have what is classic case of I'm right and everybody else is, they may not be wrong, but they're not right. So what I know, and I'm going to name this one insanity. Is it all that bad? Now we have here a classic case of somebody who used to be a man, but now he's just a figment of some cowgirl's imagination. I don't consider that all that bad. I haven't bought any clothes in 6 years. That's pretty good. I got hats from Australia, hats from where? Utah, Wyoming, Arizona. So I don't have any complaints about that. In fact, I don't have any complaints about her at all. She's probably, as I told her many times, and I'll tell you one more time, you are one of a kind from the neck up, okay? But for everything else, you're pretty much built like all the females I've known in my life. Maybe a little chubbier at places, but you know, I mean, other than that, we're just guessing. So I want to get this over with within about 25 minutes. I also want to for any of you people who actually sat through that last 25 minutes of her on her channel, I say you need to get a life, because that's a long time to listen to somebody that's just...
You didn't try to stop me. Did you give me a signal?
Yes, I did. I told you I was going to hit you with a spoon, and you said, oh, that didn't scare me.
Well, today I'm preoccupied with my foot. If you had a foot that was sort of tingling, and sort of acting like it's going a little bit numb.
I've had it all the time. Here, it's my left foot. See, it's my left foot. Got it. See?
It kind of tingles?
Tingles.
What's wrong with it?
The circulation on this leg stopped about 1994. So it doesn't work as good as this leg, see?
The circulation. So it tingles and feels like it might be going a little numb?
Well, yeah, that's because your blood circulation has been cut down.
Well, I know how I did it. I wore tight shoes, and they squished my artery or vein here.
What the hell did I just tell you?
And
mine was up here.
Well, what were you squeezing yours? What good did it?
Jogging.
Jogging? I thought that'd be good for it.
Well, now that you've interrupted me, I think that we need to get back to our basic premise here, is that I gave her a Mother's Day gift that she thoroughly hates. Pass that over here. Just pass it. Pass it over. She hates
Oh, that's
this.
right. You geezers haven't seen this little
Oh, yeah, they probably have. See?
Now, this is the kind of flowers that I like.
Yeah, but you just...
These are dead leaves.
No, these were
They never were alive.
See, the nice thing about this is that if you turn it on, it's got a little battery on the bottom. Now watch this. You just kind of give it a little. Anytime now. Anytime. You killed it? You killed this? Is that what you did?
I didn't kill
Did
anything.
you drop it on the floor? I didn't know about
Dropped it on its head.
Oh, there it goes, folks. She scares it, and it just goes into its. And then you can push it again, and then guess what happens? It comes back alive. This thing over here, though, they just die. Anyway, that was not a complaint. That was just an apology for that last long harangue. So I want to make it a little short and keep a
Why
good
don't you
thought.
just talk about what's on your mind?
Yeah, but if I did that, the police would come over and I'd be in serious trouble.
You have that much on your mind that threatens the populace.
Yeah, that's
Want to kill people? Is that it?
It's not the populace that I'm worried
Oh,
about.
the neighbor.
No, it's not the neighbor. It's a lot closer home than that.
Oh.
Well, it's another Saturday morning, and the farmer's market is...
And jiggity jig, jiggity jog.
I would not be surprised if you showed up at my door with a horse or a pony like I would prefer, a little smaller, and get him in an apartment. All of these years I've known intelligent women. This is the first one I've ever found that thought barrel writing was something you go to college for. Now, maybe it is.
Not really.
I don't know.
No, I just happened to be set down in the horse age. The horse age that still existed.
A horse what?
The horse age.
Oh,
We
I thought
did
you said a
on
horse
a ranch.
age.
We didn't have any tractors then. We had nothing but horses pulling everything. So I thought I was very lucky to be born in the horse age since I loved horses.
Well, you don't have much of a choice, do you? I mean,
No,
seriously.
No, not really, but
Well, I was born in the automobile age. I never loved my dad's car. Matter of fact, I don't even like messing with cars. It was just, one of the
well, you probably just couldn't adjust to the car age, the automobiles.
Well, I like to drive them, I like to be around them, but I don't like to stick my head underneath there and go, oh, I believe you're a little low on oil there, sir. What do you do when you check out your horse? Check out a horse that is a little bit low on oil.
Oh, they need a lot of keep.
You a lot of oil on a horse there, right here. That's true. Oh, did you have a saloon? I mean
Oh, no.
a corral, or what do you call where you keep the horses?
I'm writing my memoirs, so I'm going back to my childhood, remembering how all we thought about was horses. The boys, they didn't have any cars. They each got a horse. And as soon as they woke up, just like the men, they would saddle their horses, ride them everywhere. And the girls had to wash the dishes and, just like women have been doing for centuries. And they didn't get up and saddle their horse. They got to ride maybe later on during the day.
If I had a woman in those days, I would want her to get up and saddle my horse. So I could get on the horse, you know?
But my father didn't have any sons. He was a rancher that wanted sons. He didn't get any. I was very lucky that.
What did he get?
Because he had to let us do boys' work.
What did he get?
Which is more interesting by far than washing dishes and cleaning up after men and cooking for them.
As fast as he could pump them out?
And so
I could see where I'd be a little grumpy.
Boys' work.
That's true.
Challenging, you know, he'd say, take this herd of cattle up on the mountain and don't lose them.
What's he supposed to say?
Because I'll be
take that herd of cattle up there and I'll see you sometime later on.
Well, I'll tell you, I was mighty afraid to come home if I'd lost any of those cattle. So see, that was what I was challenged to do.
That's true.
Instead of staying at home and, well, wash those dishes, iron those clothes, scrub that floor, bottle that fruit, water that garden. That was girls' work.
Well, if they can sit through 24 minutes of your stuff, they can handle another few minutes till I get to the point.
Oh.
Here's the point, folks. If you don't have anything better to do in your life than to watch this, think about it.
Is that your point?
Well, as good as any.
Boy, you just shot yourself right in the foot.
We already talked about feet.
They turned it off.
Feet
Boy,
right
talk
there,
about
see?
Confidence. Talk about brimming with ideas and intelligence.
All right, let's talk about cognitive dissonance. You want to talk about cognitive dissonance, folks? See, there's a lot of words that most people, some people, a few people, don't understand. All that means is simply being able to hold in your mind two opposing views and understand both without trying to kill somebody. And that's known as intellect and intelligence. And if you can do that, then you don't have to ride a horse.
For a living? No. I looked at it the other way. If you ride a horse for a living, you can think what you want to think. If you get an education and start belonging to the system, you will not be independent. I found out ranchers, farmers, people who work with their hands are not afraid to work with their hands, not afraid to dig ditch.
Wait a minute. You don't have any choice.
Oh no, it's a choice. A choice.
No, you don't.
To do work where you're not taken prisoner. You're not taken prisoner. See, people are always taking each other prisoner. If you work for this company, you're going to have to think this way. You're going to have to do this.
I was
trying to be a school teacher. And I knew, I could tell my mind was going to be harnessed.
You're going to be the world's worst school teacher I think I've ever seen, and I've seen some pretty bad ones. Even in college, I've seen some pretty bad.
I knew I'd be fired. I would not have taught more than a month or two because I'd have been fired, because I'd have got those kids fired up and thinking for themselves and questioning whatever,
and get on their horses,
which I think is
the
only truthful way a person can teach.
Is what?
I mean, you're supposed to teach, and you're a prisoner yourself. You have to watch everything you say. You're afraid to say what you think because parents will get together. Oh, we don't want her teaching our kids. You know, when you've got you've got situation where there's domination, there's power by people who
You're kidding.
And you clash with those people. So you can be a rancher and think and tell those people to and go out and dig ditch, work with your hands.
That's what your daddy did.
Yeah, that's why you get the blue-collar independent person.
That's why you got so damn rich.
Who never lets anybody tell him what to do as long as he's willing to work with his hands. Now, intellectuals get the idea, oh, if you work with your hands, that's inferior. Believe me, it's not inferior if you have to give over the control of your mind to somebody else, which happens all the time in almost any job you get. Some idiot is in control of you. And if you say anything, you're going to get fired.
Oh, wait a minute. Suppose you're an idiot and you're even worse than the idiot. What do you think about that?
Well, that's all that's going to get work for him, because only idiots are going to give up all their power.
And that's how you come
and
up with
spend their life
brilliant
working
idea.
And not being able to ever say what they think. So,
a lot of people shouldn't
ranchers
say what
were
they think.
independent thinkers. Why?
It's not exactly
because they weren't afraid to dig ditch, grub bush, grub brush,
ranchers,
and put in a ranch. Now, my people were very independent. They wanted to think what they wanted to think. And they disagreed with everybody. And that was what my father was actually teaching me. His independent thinking as we were riding along, as we were doing all the work we had to do. I learned to have independent thinking, and I could not go. I did not envy anyone who had people bossing them around, telling them what to think.
Well, in other words, your dad is Gene Autry and Pat Buttram is his sidekick, right?
They never worked a ranch. They sang for their living.
I thought you said your dad sang while he was out there.
No, well. But I'm just saying, you got it all wrong in this country when you think that if you get an education, you will be doing yourself a big favor. More than likely, what they don't tell you, is you'll lose your independence of thinking. You will have to let somebody else do your thinking for you. If you get a job that education will get for you, you can see why this happens. See, the further you get away from the soil, the ditch,
what are you, milking a cow
dirt,
here?
Yes, milking the cows, hoeing the weeds, the more apt you are to get into slavery.
Now let's not get into
somebody bossing you. Look at you. Look at you. You were a salesman, which you hated.
No, I wasn't
because
a salesman.
You had to do.
Well, I was just a human being trying to make a living. That's all.
Right, and you hated every way that you had to make a living, and you tried to get out of it as much as you could, and you left it as soon as you could. And you even went and lived on the street so you wouldn't have to do it. Right?
No, I never thought about it like that.
Well, I
just thought I was trying to go out and find out what the rest of you people are doing out there, which is pretty bad in the past 25, 50 years.
Well, you wanted to go out and see what it was like not to be a sleazy salesman trying to sell people something they didn't need.
Well, that's what salespeople are all about. That's what marketing's all about. That's what life's all. Hello.
But you do need to eat. You do need to eat. So the farmer is right next to what really needs to happen. A plant has to grow and you eat it. A fruit has to be picked and the fruit has to be watered. And you were busy selling stuff that nobody needed.
Wait a minute, I get watered every week. I'm going to show the last.
Yes, this is the flower, the real flower. And that's him, artificial. Artificial. Have you ever seen anything? This is so surpasses this little pitiful thing.
See, this one will be here tomorrow. That one may not.
Did you ever sell those by any chance?
No, but I think it's a great idea.
He's the flim flam man. He is the most typical flim flam man I have ever seen.
And never looked at a thing like George C.
Buy this,
Scott.
sign right here on the dotted line, and you only have to pay $95 a month to get these books or whatever he was.
Well, I think you've used up most of my. You've used most of my time, and that's just.
Well, when he said, if you haven't got anything better to do than watch this, he gave up. He's defeatist. He's saying, I'm no good. Don't watch me.
I didn't say
I don't
that.
even believe that. And I'm not going to be associated with failure.
Oh.
If you've given up on yourself that bad, you think you have nothing worth saying. You've not been living right.
I know.
That's what I got to
have
say.
not been living right. So, folks, live right when you're younger, because otherwise you're going to end up with something like this.
And he and I do not agree
And this
at
is
all.
going to be worse than death.
all.
You'll be hoping for it. Like, oh, Lordy, bring me to the promised land.
He may not be worth listening to, but I am.
I know, that's right. You've told me that so many times.
Why? Because I'm
I
still
can't
trying to
bring
make something
myself.
out of myself. He gave up a long time ago. Oh, just waiting here. We're diametrically opposed in every way. I'm getting my shoes on so I can turn off the...
Yeah, you have to walk 2 feet to turn it off. Thank you so much for being on my video. I appreciate it. And if you ever do it again, I'll appreciate it again.